Hello everyone, my name is Shelley Summerfield. I am a student in Communications 110-E1. We have all experienced times in our lives when we are speaking and the words aren't flowing smoothly. But for those people who suffer from fluency disorders, this happens way too often. People who suffer from severe fluency disorders stutter on approximately 50% of the words they are trying to say. Communication disorders have been a passion of mine for over 10 years, and I have studied them as I have had firsthand experience raising a child with a fluency disorder. A teacher's response to school-age children with a fluency disorder can have long-term effects on those students' feelings towards school. So let's begin with teachers and their understanding and awareness of fluency disorders and how their responses may impact those students. A teacher can play a crucial role in the adaptation of a student with a fluency disorder. According to Graham R. Daniel and his colleagues, they state, early years of schooling are a significant time in the children's development with implications for educational achievement, future lives, and society. They believe that teachers need to be prepared with the skills to understand how to treat these students and react to their disfluencies. According to the National Institute of Deafness and Communication Disorders, roughly 3 million Americans stutter. Stuttering affects people of all ages, genders, and races. It occurs most often in children between the ages of 2 and 6. Approximately 5 to 10% of all children will experience stuttering at some point in their life. Stuttering is more common in males than females. They are 2 to 3 times more likely to stutter than females, and as these children age, the rate of males to females increases. 75% of these children, fortunately, will overcome fluency disorders, but that leaves 1% of the worldwide population that still stutters. It is especially important to me to point out that students that stutter are no less intelligent than those that don't. According to Scott Uris and his associates, they believe that the overall goal of an educator is to help the children who stutters communicate effectively while they minimize the likelihood that the negative responses will have negative consequences on their lives. A teacher may choose to educate themselves and define stuttering or disfluencies. So according to Kumar and Varghese journal article, stuttering is defined as a fluency disorder characterized by the stoppage of speech at abnormally high rates and duration, and the stoppage can include disfluencies as syllable repetitions, word repetitions, or can occur in words repetition, prolongations, pauses, as well as a blockage of flow. Teachers may observe students who try to hide that they have a disfluency. So some things teachers would want to be aware of are withdrawals from speech, peculiar phrasing, pitch or tone changes, strange movements while talking, which can include facial or body movements, and multiple interjections at very unusual places. Repetitions will occur when usually repeat the sound or syllable 3 or more times, such as may I use the restroom? And prolongations occur when the student is holding on to just one sound, such as science is fun. And word repetition can occur when you repeat one word or a couple words, such as I can read that book. And then blockages occur when nothing comes out at all when they're trying to speak. If a child does not receive the treatment they need, oftentimes their disfluency will increase. And given the large amount of time that a teacher spends with a student, they can provide very good detail of the communication behavior to a speech pathologist in order to treat this child. Professor Williams, author of The Child Who Stutters, recognizes that stuttering is a very individualized disorder, but there are resources to help both the student and the teacher. Professor Williams states one area in which the teacher needs to be aware is identification. Every student from whom they believe may suffer from disfluency should have a prompt referral to a speech pathologist. Teachers' efforts to provide positive responses to stuttering students may help with reduced secondary behaviors, may minimize avoidance, may improve the communications to that of the student. They may increase the student's self-confidence. It may decrease secondary bullying effects, and it may minimize the impact stuttering has on the student's life. They indicate that treatment should be aimed at increasing fluency and decreasing negative reactions, which will help increase functional communication skills for their lifetime. Teachers can help minimize the effect of stuttering by letting the students know that they are listening to what the student is saying and not how they are saying it. It is suggested that teachers form a positive relationships with parents, with speech pathologists, and with the disfluent student to help build trust and to help avoid detrimental reactions. According to Daniel and Associates, understanding challenges is important for the supporting learning environment or engagement and educational outcomes of a child with speech disorders. It is obvious that reacting in a positive response can be beneficial to the student's outcome, but now let's take a look at the negative responses by teachers. Negative responses can increase disfluency in a disfluent student already and also cause other learning issues in the learning environment. According to Jane McCormick, negative responses may lead to increased disfluency and poor academic performances, difficulty reading, increase in the bullying, poor peer relationships, and also higher rates of psychosocial difficulties compared to that of a typical student their age. Professor Williams also indicates that teachers should not assume that the stuttering will go away. They should not interrupt or finish a student's sentences. They should not tell the student to slow down. They shouldn't assume that a student is stuttering to gain attention or that they have a learning disability. The amount of stuttering a student does on a daily basis may have to do with the environment that they are currently in. So high stress environments may increase anxiety and fear, which results in increased disfluency. Yaros and Associates reference that the reduction in negative reactions to stuttering can lead to improvement in fluency. In conclusion, it may be important that teachers gain awareness of disfluency and respond positively for better fluency. A teacher's response to school-age children with fluency disorders can have long-term effects on those students' feelings towards school. Teachers' understanding and awareness and providing positive responses and ridding of the negative responses may be beneficial to that of the student. I encourage all educators to be aware of their responses to children with disfluencies. Awareness may be the key to improving the students' educational experiences. Thank you all for listening.